Our top focus this morning, a day after Jammu and Kashmir's mainstream parties formed the People's Alliance with a clear aim to restore Article 370 in the valley, the BJP is making its own strategy to counter this alliance. The BJP today has called for an emergency meeting in Jammu. Yesterday, the National Conference, the PDP, along with 4 other regional parties, vowed to restore J&K's special status and announced this alliance. Now, the parties vowed to work further on the Gupkar Declaration, a resolution that was issued on August 4, 2019, a day before Article 370 was revoked in Parliament. Former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah demanded the immediate release of all political prisoners. The meeting called by BJP will be attended by senior leaders such as Ravinder Raina, Kavinder Gupta, Dr. Nirmal Singh and Ashok Kaul. BJP has also invited social and religious organisation heads for the meeting.
Arch rivals come together for a common cause. Leaders of the National Conference and the PDP met at NC MP Farooq Abdullah's residence in Srinagar on Thursday. The first formal meeting of mainstream parties after the abrogation of Article 370. After a 2-hour-long meeting at the Gupkar Road residence of the NC patron, the representatives of 6 parties decided to meet again to chalk out a future strategy to get Jammu and Kashmir's special status back.
We have now named this alliance as a formal name of this alliance will be People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. Our battle is a constitutional battle.
All eyes were on PDP President and former BJP ally Mehbooba Mufti, who was released from detention after 14 months on Tuesday. While she did not address the media, the leaders demanded the immediate release of the remaining politicians who are in detention.
Already those people who are still in the prison, we have demanded that they must be released immediately without any further delay.
Thursday's meeting is a continuation of the Gupkar Declaration signed on 4th of August last year, a day before Article 370 was scrapped. The declaration last year had vowed to defend Jammu and Kashmir's special status. While the meeting was on in Srinagar, minor protests took place in Jammu. The BJP called the Gupkar Declaration a conspiracy.
इनको विकास से मतलब नहीं है, नफरत की रोटी सेक करके सत्ता में आना है। इसीलिए ये 370 के सहारे सत्ता माना चाहते हैं, विकास के सहारे नहीं।
Now it will be interesting to see how the government of India will respond to the demands of this newly formed front here in Jammu and Kashmir. With Tariq Loan Ashrafani for India Today in Srinagar.
And a shootout in Uttar Pradesh's Balia has once again exposed the law and order situation in the state. A man was shot dead in the presence of the district magistrate, the CEO as well as police officials after accused Dhirendra Singh opened fire during a meeting of allotment of shops on a quota basis. The police says that the shootout at Durjanpur village took place over a dispute between 2 parties. An attempt is now being made to nab all 9 accused in the case. The pictures of the accused, who claims to be a BJP leader on a social media account, have surfaced with BJP MLA Surendra Singh. However, the party has denied any association with the accused. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath meanwhile took cognizance of this incident and has ordered the suspension of the district magistrate, the circle officer as well as police personnel who were present at the spot. He's also demanded strict action against the culprits, while the opposition has trained guns at the Yogi government over lawlessness in the state.
दबिश पड़ने का कार्यक्रम शुरू हो गया है। टीमें गठित कर दी गई हैं जो मेरी जानकारी में है और मेरा मानना है कि शीघ्र अतिशीघ्र गिरफ्तारी कर ली जाएगी। पुलिस और प्रशासन की नज़र में जो अभियुक्त रहता है वो अभियुक्त रहता है, उसमें वो किसी दल विशेष से किससे जुड़ा हुआ ये मतलब नहीं रहता है। तो जो भी अभियुक्त होगा उस पर कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी, वो चाहे किसी भी जो भी उसकी पृष्ठभूमि हो उसको नज़रअंदाज करते हुए।
इस मामले में एग्जाम्पलरी कार्रवाई की जाएगी और वो कार्रवाई आप लोगों को धरातल पर दिखेगी। ऐसी कार्रवाई की जाएगी इसके बाद कोई भी इस प्रकार की दुस्साहसिक घटना करने के बारे में सोच भी न सके। पुलिस अधीक्षक को मेरे द्वारा निर्देशित किया गया है कि यहाँ पर मौजूद सभी लोग जो घटना के समय मौजूद थे, निश्चित रूप से वो भी लापरवाही के दोषी माने जाएंगे और उनके विरुद्ध भी कठोरतम अनुशासनात्मक कार्रवाई, जिसमें सस्पेंशन की भी कार्रवाई सम्मिलित है, सुनिश्चित की जाएगी।
देखिए, जो दुर्जनपुर में घटना हुआ है, घटना बहुत ही दुखद हुआ है, निंदनीय हुआ है। और जहाँ तक धीरेन्द्र प्रताप सिंह डब्लू का सवाल है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी में किसी भी दायित्व पर नहीं है। न तो मंडल में कोई दायित्व पर है, न जिले के कोई दायित्व पर है। इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कोई दायित्वधारी कार्यकर्ता नहीं है।
A meeting for allotment of shops under the government quota in Uttar Pradesh's Balia turned violent after a local strongman opened fire, killing one person.
जो WC दबंग है, उनसे बात विचार हुआ और उसकी कहा सुनी हुआ, उसके चलते लेकर के हमारे पिताजी को निशान साध कर मार दिए गोली।
The entire incident took place in the presence of the sub-divisional magistrate and police officials.
जब हंगामा लोग करने लगे तो SDM ने इसकी प्रक्रिया को बाधित होते देखकर बंद कर दिया। यहाँ शेष लोग जा रहे थे। इस दौरान धीरेन्द्र प्रताप सिंह द्वारा फायरिंग किया गया, जिसमें एक आदमी को, जयप्रकाश उर्फ गामा पाल को गोली लगी। उन्हें हॉस्पिटल ले जाया जा रहा था, रास्ते में उनकी मृत्यु हो गई है। घटना के अन्य समस्त तथ्यों की जानकारी की जा रही है, पूर्ण करके इसे विधिक कार्यवाहियां समस्त की जाएंगी।
After a massive outrage, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath took note of the matter and suspended the SDM and all police officials who were present when the murder took place. But the politics over the incident did not die down. The Samajwadi Party went a step further, claiming a BJP hand behind the killing.
बलिया की घटना ने यह साबित कर दिया कि उत्तर प्रदेश में कम से कम कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन कानून व्यवस्था नाम की कोई चीज नहीं है। हम लोग लगातार कह रहे हैं कि सरकार उत्तर प्रदेश में अपराधी चला रहे हैं, गुंडे चला रहे हैं, बलात्कारी चला रहे हैं, और वही आज सच सामने आ गया। ये उत्तर प्रदेश बनाया योगी जी आपने, ये है आपकी नीयत, ये है नीति, ये रामराज कहते हैं। आपके राज से 100 गुना अच्छा रावण राज था।
The BJP has denied it by saying it has nothing to do with the killer. But what has raised eyebrows is how the man could escape a crowded meeting after committing a murder. Bureau Report, India Today.
Delhi's air quality is continuing to deteriorate with every passing day, but the war of words has once again broken out between the Delhi and the Punjab Chief Minister. Punjab CM Captain Amrinder Singh accused the Delhi Chief Minister of spreading lies and diverting attention to hide its own failure to protect Delhi from pollution. The Punjab Chief Minister asserted that the government data suggested stubble burning contributed to only 4% of Delhi's pollution. His attack came after Arvind Kejriwal accused Punjab of keeping Delhiites in the dark and also blamed the Punjab government for failing miserably in containing stubble burning, which is polluting the air in the national capital. The central government's weather forecasting body, SAFAR, showed that AQI levels in Delhi on Thursday had 6% of pollution from stubble burning, which means there are bigger contributors out there. Not only that, the study found that farm fires contributed just around 3% of pollution on Wednesday and 1% on Sunday to Tuesday to Delhi's pollution.
It's apocalypse all over again. These images speak for themselves. The quality of air that Delhi is breathing has nosedived to severe mark. In some areas in the capital, the air quality index was over the 300 mark. As farm fires rage on across the neighboring states of Punjab and Haryana, Delhi government has swung into action. Capital's Environment Control Body has announced imposition of a graded response plan to tackle air pollution. It includes banning diesel generators, checking construction sites for dust and pollution, use of smoke guns to control dust, and banning burning of biomass. Chief Minister Kejriwal has also launched Red Light On, Gaadi Off campaign to tackle air pollution. As the capital air quality plummets, Delhi government versus centre politics is peaking. Union Environment Minister claimed that stubble burning contributes only 4% to air pollution.
पंजाब सरकार को मैं फिर से एक बार अपील करता हूं कि वो तुरंत हरकत में आए और पराली कम जले, इसके लिए उनके भी बच्चों का मुद्दा है। अभी तो केवल 4% लोड पराली का है, तो 96% प्रदूषण लोकल फैक्टर्स से है।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was quick to counter the Environment Minister.
जो पराली जलने की वजह से धुआं दिल्ली आ रहा है, उसके बारे में तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन दिल्ली में अपने पोल्यूशन को इस वक्त कम करने के लिए जो जो कदम हम उठा सकते हैं वो सभी कदम उठाने चाहिए। पिछले कुछ दिनों में हम लोगों ने कई सारे स्टेप्स लिए हैं पोल्यूशन कम करने के लिए। एंटी डस्ट कैंपेन चालू किया है। दिल्ली में जो पराली उगती है उसको जलाने की ज़रूरत ना पड़े, उसके लिए हमने बायो डिकम्पोज़र पूसा इंस्टीट्यूट द्वारा जो बनाया गया उसका इस्तेमाल शुरू किया है। इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल पॉलिसी अनाउंस की है, ट्री ट्रांसप्लांटेशन पॉलिसी अनाउंस की है, कई सारे कदम हमने उठाए हैं।
Minister Javadekar later clarified, saying that 4% share of stubble burning in AQI in Delhi pertained only to this week. He added that several local factors like vehicular pollution, non-agricultural biomass burning, dust are primarily responsible for high air pollution during winters in Delhi. The Environment Ministry itself says that the share of stubble burning in air pollution in Delhi between 8th October and 9th December last year was greater than 15% on 6 days, and on a single day it was more than 40%. In fact, a 2019 report by government agency System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting said that the share of stubble burning in Delhi's pollution rose to 46% on 1st November last year.
While a war of words has also erupted between the Union Minister Prakash Javadekar as well as the CM, stating that the problem of pollution in Delhi is being caused due to stubble burning. That's what the Chief Minister believes, but Union Environment Minister has said that the stubble burning is only leading to about 4% of the pollution's contribution in the national capital. With Sanjay Kumar, Milan Sharma for India Today.
And here's a roundup of all the updates in the Kerala gold smuggling case. The National Investigation Agency has found a link with the D Company. The probe agency has alleged that the accused who have been nabbed so far have links with Dawood Ibrahim.
A sensational twist to the Kerala gold smuggling case. The National Intelligence Agency says it now suspects a link between the gold smugglers and the D Company run by underworld fugitive Dawood Ibrahim. The NIA made this revelation while challenging the bail plea of the accused in a Kochi court. The court turned down bail for 3 of the accused, Shafi, Sharafuddin and Muhammad Ali, while giving relief to 10 others. The NIA said one of the accused, Ramiz, had a diamond and gold business in Tanzania and he had proximity to similar businesses run by the D Company. Documents revealed details of accused Sharafuddin's travel to Tanzania with Ramiz for weapons training. According to NIA, 2 other accused, Ahmed Kutti and Rathish, had fled India and have probably been sheltered by the Dawood gang. The agency is also probing PFI linked to the gold smuggling case after the arrest of Muhammad Ali, who is claimed to be a member of the controversial organization. The alleged Dawood and PFI links has given added ammunition to the opposition in Kerala. Both the BJP and Congress are demanding Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's resignation, claiming his former principal secretary is being probed.
The Chief Minister's principal secretary was the kingpin of all these operations. So this is a very serious issue. I think that NIA will go into the details and unearth all the details of this crime.
It's a serious issue, and I'm sure that the NIA and the Home Ministry will take appropriate action and see that the UAPA charges that has been leveled against these. It stands substantiated.
The Chief Minister has said the NIA's latest findings need to be substantiated with evidence.
NIA വന്നത് തന്നെ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് കണ്ടെത്താനല്ലേ. അവർ പരിശോധിക്കട്ടെ, പരിശോധിച്ച് അതിന്റെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ വരട്ടെ. നമ്മൾ റിപ്പോർട്ടുകളുടെ പിന്നാലെ പോകണ്ട.
With inputs from Gopi Krishnan Unnithan, Bureau Report, India Today.
And after nearly 7 months, devotees will finally get to enter the hill shrine in Sabrimala for the first time after the coronavirus-induced lockdown. As part of the Unlock 5.0 guidelines, Sabrimala in Kerala will open today for monthly puja, which happens annually. Now, the main temple will be open this evening, while devotees will be allowed to enter the temple from tomorrow in wake of the pandemic. The Travancore Devaswam Board has issued some strict guidelines. All the devotees are required to carry a COVID-negative report before entering the temple. The report should also not be older than 48 hours. The pilgrims are also required to carry a medical certificate stating that they're fit to trek up to the holy hill. Now, the administration has assured that all arrangements have been made to ensure that pilgrims face no hassles. The Ayyappa Swami temple in Sabrimala was closed to March 18th, just before the nationwide lockdown. Kings 11 Punjab have registered their second victory of the season, and incidentally, it once again came against Virat Kohli's Royal Challengers Bangalore. Chasing a modest 172 for victory, Punjab were well on course for a victory, with KL Rahul and Chris Gayle playing his first match of the season, scoring a half-century each. Both the batsmen took their time initially before they cut loose to bring down the equation to 11 runs of the final 3 overs. Kings 11 Punjab survived some rather anxious moments to eventually go over the line of the last delivery and register an 8-wicket victory. And Mumbai Indians will take on the Kolkata Knight Riders in match 32 of the IPL. The defending champions are at the second spot in the IPL table. Rohit Sharma's men have 5 wins in 7 games and will be eyeing the top spot. Kolkata, on the other hand, have 4 wins in 7 games and will look to return to winning ways. Mumbai emerged victorious in the first leg, with Rohit Sharma scoring a half-century. Abu Dhabi will host the tie. Action kickstarts as usual at 7:30 p.m.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.